Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Wire Sports Media. All right, so, man, sometimes you have to sit back and laugh because the things that people say or do really makes you wonder why they are in the space in the first place. So, we all remember Sheryl Swoopes, her comments. Said in the offseason, said nobody wants to go play with the Indiana Fever. Kelsey Mitchell will be leaving in free agency. She was advocating for this. She was advocating for the Fever to leave. She was advocating for Kelsey Mitchell. No, she was advocating for Kelsey Mitchell to leave. She wanted to see Caitlin Clark fail. But lo and behold, for the all season, we have not heard Sheryl Swoopes one time until when she showed her face to give that debacle of a speech to Aja Wilson for her latest shoe release. Then she turned up on Gil's Arenas talking about the CBA and whether the players, some players can't afford to sit out or lock out. So, but this one thing right here takes the cake out of all, and I'm gonna let y'all listen to it.
The team that I feel made the biggest moves, maybe even the best moves, that would be the Indiana Fever. I think the Indiana Fever went from just being in the playoffs last season to potentially, you add the OG DeWanna Bonner, who plays both ends of the floor, who's a competitor, Natasha Howard, who's another OG, who's going to bring the defensive presence. And then you're bringing back Aaliyah Boston, who continues to get better every single year. Can we talk about Kelsey Mitchell, who is just a walking bucket? How much stronger Caitlin got in the offseason. She was in the gym working on her game. This Indiana Fever team, they have put the pieces together in this offseason, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do.
I swear, I do believe somebody paid her to be nice. Because that's the most pleasant niceness of I have seen Sheryl Swoopes. Her face hasn't been all cringe and folded up like it hurt her so bad to talk about the Indiana Fever or talk about Caitlin Clark. She just felt like, I'm excited to see what this team is going to do. They added OG, DeWanna Bonner. They added Natasha Howard. Can we talk about Kelsey Mitchell? She always, when she want to reference a person, she say, well, can we talk about this person? She's just a walking burden. And Caitlin Clark, oh my, she's been in the gym. She's been working on her game. Me personally, I'm sitting here wondering. To me, I felt like she read off a cue card or teleprompter, or somebody gave her a script to rehearse before this and say, hey, you got to be this. Maybe she's trying out to be a Fever announcer. Maybe she's trying to do sideline games again. Who knows? But make no mistake, as this old saying goes, one thing's for certain, two things for sure. You can never take these people for face value for what they say. Because when she was advocating Kelsey to leave Caitlin, when she came out blatantly said that nobody will play for the Indiana Fever, she knew what she was doing. But now all of a sudden a 360 comes. The Fever had landed all these free agents. She's shocked. All the ops are shocked. All the ops is watching this Indiana Fever. They couldn't believe how the Indiana Fever got Sidney Colston. They couldn't believe how the Indiana Fever landed Breida Turner. And they couldn't believe how DeWanna just left Alyssa Thomas and came to the Fever. Nobody believed Natasha Howard was going to come to the Fever, being a free agent after being in Dallas. So the thing about it is that these people are watching the Fever. They know what the Fever going to bring. They know what Caitlin Clark is all about. But now they're trying to spin the block or circle back to be on the bandwagon. They want to bandwagon right now. You know, mostly all the ops gonna see it. They all gonna think about it. They're gonna say, well, you know what? Hey, you know what? Maybe this Fever team is good. Because if the Fever start out hot, winning like the first 20 games, they probably say they go 15-5 or 15-2 or 15-3. And they're going to be looking like, oh, this team about to win the championship. They're going to be winning the championship because they're going to be the talk of town or the favorites to win the title. That's just what it is. But make no mistake, if the Indiana Fever struggles, you best believe Sheryl Swoopes will come right back around with her old age narrative that she always does. So what she's saying right here, is it good? Yeah, it's okay. But I'm not going to jump head over heels with her and say, oh, you know, she turned the corner. She's talking good about Caitlin Clark. No. It's always agenda with these people. It's always something with these people to really think that they want you on their side or they start talking nice about the team or whatever the case would be. I don't believe that for one instant at all. I think Sheryl Swoopes she's playing the game right now. Last year, she was all negative. Now she wants to be all positive. So like I said, she's playing the game. She's have her own agenda, you know, because if she gets on a podcast and she talks all nice about the Fever and talk nice about Caitlin Clark, then maybe she gets views or maybe she gets a job or gig somewhere to call a game or whatever the case might be. That's all it is. She's seeking opportunity. That's what it is. These people seek opportunity not to benefit what they're talking about, but it's benefiting themselves. So I'll pay close attention to it and just see what she does. But unless that, I'm not even worried about Sheryl Swoopes at this moment. What she said, good. I'm glad you gave the Fever some praise. I'm glad you mentioned Caitlin Clark, even though you just said Caitlin, you know, she's been in the gym. It's not a bad comment to say, you know, because what do you really expect Sheryl Swoopes to say about Caitlin Clark? Really? If you think she's going to come out and say, oh, everything that we have talked about Caitlin Clark, then you're sadly mistaken. That's not Sheryl Swoopes' MO. She's not going to do that. So what she's just said in that video about Caitlin Clark, take it as a face value and roll with it. But anyway, tell me what you think about it. Has Sheryl Swoopes turned the corner? That's the question. Has she turned the corner? Has she circled back to be a bandwagon fan for the Indiana Fever? Leave your likes and comments below. Until the next episode, Live Wire Sports, and I'm out.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live Wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.